G'day, welcome back to the Weedy Garden. This is my bacteria drum. Smells sweet in here, sweet as, so all is good. I want to show you how I make my free organic fertiliser with this brew, and I also want to dive into my compost and take a trip underground to meet a nematode and explain in a very simple way what the soil food web is, so everybody gets it. I want to go deeper down the carrot hole. But it's taking a little bit longer to film than I expected, because I'm waiting to get some epic microscopic footage of the bacteria in here so we can see what they look like. I reckon by the time your brew is ready, so will the next video. So just be patient. In the meantime, however, I'm going to plant a seed and tell a little story to give you food for thought. This one's kind of like a Jack and the Beanstalk seed. It's a special one. The seed is for your heart.
You ready? Enjoy.
If you listen real lot, paradise will sing to you. And you'll hear music coming up from the earth.
G'day, I'm David Trude. I'm a photographer, and I want to tell you a little story with a bit of a different angle about how I see the world and how I see us. I call it the cell effect, and it's why I believe we're all connected. I grew up in the bush in Australia. Nature was all around me. It was my whole world. Growing up in the country in Australia, I'd heard a lot about the native Aboriginal culture and their belief. I'd heard it so many times about this spirit of the earth and the connection people have with it.
You'll feel it. Like you're being carried away to the dream time.
I didn't really know what it meant when I was young, but I can tell you, being out there all by myself sometimes in the bush, I definitely had a feeling that something was always looking at me. I felt a presence, always there, as if I was never alone. When I was 17, I got a job as a press photographer on a newspaper in the city. And it was fast. There was police and music and fires and riots and popular people and unpopular people. It was great. There was art and sport and all sorts of everything. But I began to notice that people who lived in the city didn't really know what I was talking about when I spoke about this quiet that I knew in the bush. You know, this connection I felt. The city was like a radio, constantly changing from one channel to the other, so it's almost impossible to just hear nothing. Like in the bush, where there is only one channel playing, and it's the same channel every day. Not so long ago, we were all hunting to survive. All our families were hunters and gatherers. Being a hunter, you have to be tuned into your environment. You have to be able to read the signs around you if you're going to feed your family. You had to know nature and what it was telling you, what you could give and what you could take. You couldn't just sit around and wait either. A good hunter, he goes looking. So you might be thinking, another nature photographer here to show you how to sneak up on animals and shoot them with a camera. No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. I feel like a hunter for sure, because I'm tuning into something in the same way so I can feed my family. But what I'm hunting for are those once-in-a-lifetime photographs that I dream about that can connect people with nature. People are great. Without people, there is no story. You know, when I'm out there wandering around with my camera and my backpack and find a nice location, I like to have people in my pictures to connect us to that situation. It seems to say more. I don't take a busload of models with me, so I always have to find people where I'm at. And this is a very important part of my job. This is what I call the cell effect, and convinces me that we are connected. If I have a good mojo, people will pick that up. 99% of the time, people are willing and happy to help me do my shot, especially if it's a positive idea. You know, I don't even notice it sometimes until I get back to the computer and realize what I got, that these people were involved with making something with good intentions. People can pick it up if your intentions are good. Now this next photograph is my all-time favorite. This is a photo of my son Lucas when he was a tiny cluster of cells. He's the exact same shape as the Earth, but only about the size of the thickness of a hair. When I looked at him then under the microscope, I was amazed at the complexity that was about to unfold inside this incredibly tiny cell. He'll grow into a boy and then into a man who, like the average human being, will have a body made up of cells. A massive community of about 50 trillion of them, all working together and all connected to each other, each one having its own unique job to do. That got me thinking, it's a little bit like us. Like we're all separate cells with our own little job to do, but all working together as this thing called humanity, living on the body of the Earth. So looking at it like this, we're not separate really, we're all connected to each other because we're all connected to the Earth. Just like Lucas has his own spirit, I think the Earth has a spirit too. Maybe even a soul. And I'm a part of it. You know, the majority of people today live in huge cities, so it's really important to me as a photographer, as a little eye cell that belongs to the community, to give others the opportunity to be inspired. I do that by making images that get people's attention, that stir their curiosity of this moment in time, in nature. When people feel they're part of the Earth, like a very important little cell of her body, they are more likely not to want to control or hurt the Earth or each other. This is what I call the cell effect. To connect with the Earth and each other. To respect the Earth and each other. To protect Earth and each other. When I die, I'll become Earth again. I belong to this Earth, and Earth should stay with us. A tree is the same as me. When he gets old, he'll die. He'll be dead and burned. He'll leave his ashes behind. The tree becomes Earth, just like me.